So you saw a bird once and you were thinking, I should start a professional wildlife business. And what would be the best budget option? May I point you in the direction of a modest upgrade to your phone, a Canon C70? Does it have a viewfinder? Do you need one? I took it out with the 100-400 RF lens, a Steinbeck gift. I was blown away by how hard it was, and I hated it so much.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So we are on the Canon C70 now, Canon EF 24mm 1.4, speed boosted. Technology is real. So Steinbeck sends this thing. I laughed. I saw it. I was like, what the hell was that? Not in a million years did I think that was going to be in the box of goodies. And I was like, okay, I only have one camera that could wield it, the C70. It has no viewfinder. How annoying will that be? The answer is very. I also got to learn a lot about the C70 and its quirks. So this was the first squirrel I saw. The first day, literally 100% only squirrels. This is all 4K 120p. The only thing I saw that day was like 17 squirrels, one after the other. Not one bird existed. If you think I'm joking, like, wait till you see the other animals in this video. No, it's only squirrels, okay? So relax, it's a squirrel day. So the first thing I noticed was the stabe. Once you get your shot, it's actually pretty good in slow motion. It's not perfect. There was some definite jitters. It's like only lens stabe. So like, there's not much you can really do. And the autofocus in 4K 120, there's no like animal eye detect. So you can put a little box, and it was actually like doing a pretty good job of getting the subject and just switching to where I was hoping it would. But after a while, I was just like, no. I switched into manual focus, and that was painful. It was so painful because it's just a screen. I saw squirrels eating our garbage. Oh, we are a bad species. No nuts for him today. And his buddy in the back there, he's like, hey, you done over there? Jimmy, hey, what'd you find? You gonna share some of that? Is that a rice cracker? Yo, give me some of that. Give me half. I was just inching my way closer and closer. He's literally eating a ketchup pack, isn't it? That's what it is. Wow. I did not know squirrels liked ketchup. He probably just ate some pasta and he's like, come on, a little ketchup on there. I wish I found this earlier before the plain pasta, but whatever. So I kept walking closer and closer to hopefully get some better shots because there was not one animal in this forest. Hey Tony, I got some ketchup. I found some ketchup down here. You still got that? The hot dog from last night, you did? Where's the hot dog? Tony. Hey Tony, what's the problem, man? Oh, this ketchup's mine. But if I'm just judging the image quality, Canon C70 4K 120p, it's a beautiful image. It's like soft and filmic, sharp enough for wildlife. This lens, you can get some done. But it's, I don't know, I've always been making fun of this lens. Like, it's so ghetto, a 5.6 to f8. It's like, wow. And you're on APS-C, so that's like a Tony 91. It's like a no thank you kind of lens, but it was very light. As the squirrel goes back into the cave for more ketchup packets, he realizes that he has made many poor choices to get to this place. If I'm being honest with you, it wasn't very comfortable to hold. The grip of the C70, not my favorite. So it was like just holding it like that, and it's a very long grip and not so ergonomic as to what I'm used to. There's a lot of extra stuff, but it was somewhat doable, and like it does extend quite a bit, and it takes a while to... I prefer an internal zoom called a prime instead, where you don't have to worry about that. And I found this focus was so far ahead. I think I'm used to it being flipped. The zoom out here, focus back here. Whereas like I felt I had to extend my hand out to focus. Wasn't the best time I ever had. And then this thing, I didn't even map that. And then he found it, a French fry, but he had eaten all the ketchup. And now his life is meaningless. And he knows it. Ah, that is unfortunate. As he eats a 3-day-old dry ketchup-less French fry that is soggy and soaked up in pinto bean sauce, he realized that he would never be the same. It was a McDonald's French fry, and they are not fully digested. I also managed to see another squirrel. It was actually pretty surprising to see one up in the tree there, a natural one that doesn't eat out of the garbage cans. And thankfully I got closer to him, and he was a squirrel. And that was good times. That was worth going out. I'm glad I did go out, actually. And then as I was leaving the forest, I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, is that a squirrel? Oh my God, a squirrel. Wow. This might be the best shot of the day. That's a happy squirrel. They stand up because he's used to being fed. And he came over to me, but unfortunately, ants eat my nuts, so I don't have them anymore because ants exist. So blame the ants for you not eating today, and I'm sorry about that. But that was a squirrel right there. And then God humored me. I was like, oh my God, is that a bird? He's like, yep, it was. Yeah, a chickadee. Oh, I didn't focus on it yet. Okay, a sparrow. You're in, right? You could be. I've never had a shot where nothing was in focus, but everything was in focus. I don't know how I achieved that one, but I did. And that was a bad shot. So naturally I get home pretty disappointed, like only squirrels. I was like, that's not really a test here. So I thought I should go out for another day, but do the HD 180 frames per second only. And that brings us to the 4K cripplings. You can't do RAW in 4K. Ouch. The Nikon Z6 III does 4K to 6K in any frame rate, all RAW. 24p to 120, 6K 60, like everything in between, all RAW except HD 240 for some reason. Canon, you have to get out of that. You go to, I think you can't even do XF AVC. You have to go into their H.265 profile, and it's not as good. You still get C-Log 2 and it's 10-bit, but 420 is where I stay. But in HD 180, you also have to abandon all those codecs plus a Super 16 crop, which I don't even know what this was, but I'm thinking like roughly 1200mm is what we did, and it was pretty glorious. Ironically, with all that reach, the first thing I saw were ducks like right up at my feet, and I was like, no, you're too close, I'm not ready yet. What are you doing here? I don't have the focus potential. It was tough to see the peaking. It always is in HD super slow-mo. There's a seagull 300 miles away from me. You can see the stabe, a little jerky. Not the best stabe I ever seen. It's only lens, whereas if you had the R7, that has IBIS, doesn't it? Little mix there, a little sync stabe, that would be needed. But not only is there this huge crop, you also lose autofocus. As far as I can see, it doesn't work anymore. So it's all manual focus, and it was hard, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just trying to get things, and then you can punch in to a super crop, but it was already so cropped, it was hard. The ironic thing about shooting with the C70 is whenever you're above 60 frames per second, you lose that DGO sensor, which is the ultimate dynamic range. Like, that's why you bought a C70. It still had really good dynamic range. I mean, we're C-Log 2. It's like, okay, Super 35. Well, not this. This is Super 16. That's a Blackmagic OG size sensor. That's painful. It was better than the Blackmagic OG, from what I remember. Even though I had the Leica Prime, this was actually better. Just nothing is out of focus. I saw a dog chasing one of the squirrels from the first day. He was like, yeah, get out of here, squirrel. There's other animals too here. Doesn't have to be all squirrels, you know. I'm out of here. So he tried to kill him, but he was not brave enough, and then I tracked the dog in manual focus. Everything is in focus, including the dog, and there's no background blur, because your lens sucks, and it's a budget hobo lens. For hobos. Hobos like stuff like this. I forget what these are called, mergansers or something, whatever. You merg dancer. He was 960,000 feet away from me. I measured it. And that number only increased as he diagonally flew out of my life forever, but he was somewhat in focus for some of that. Then these little ghost ducks appeared. I don't know what those are, white-headed diving ducks. They dived down. I almost got the focus, but I was a little late on it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this. They were cute. They dive and they hunt. Fish eating ducks. They are like puppies. All in all, it was a nightmare day, but the footage looks nice. If all you had was a Canon C70 and you were thinking like, oh, should I get a telephoto for this? Yeah, you probably should. You'd get some results. It's just, it was annoying due to how slow it was. Like you have to manually expose, and here's the bucket shot. 2 geese diving. The first dove, then the second followed, and then they made a pattern of towers, twin tower geese asses, and then they paddle their way to success upside down for some reason, eating algae and packets of ketchup that squirrels toss them. This was the coolest moment of the day. 3 geese are leaving. A duck is like, hey guys, can I join your team? I got abandoned. Come on, I heard you guys got ketchup. Can I? And then he followed, he turned in line and he joined the geese. Oh my God, that is cuteness. But not bad, C70. You done well. Saw a bunch of robins. It's like, once you've done this for a while, you can get decent footage out of anything. And I do like the manual focus process. It's just a lot slower and sometimes inaccurate. But once you get used to it, like, yeah, it reminds me of my Fuji days. And C70, look, got your 180 frames. It's not the worst wildlife setup possible. It's better than a bridge cam. So thank you, Steinbeck, for the lens. Totally keeping that. Can't wait to take that out again. You wait. It's probably my next video. I'm gonna be using this. Love that thing. There's not already an ad for it. I wouldn't sell it. Love this. Who needs the Nikon with a 600 prime? That's bullshit. Animal eye detect. Oh yeah, that's helpful. It's not. So, what do you think of the footage? Affiliate links are available, of course, to you. Bitcoin. Up there. And me leaving now is worth subscribing for more when I'm sending.